Hi Flosstube, it's Caitlin. Welcome to my channel. Today is Sunday, November 5th, and it is New York City Marathon Day. Right? I live half a block from the marathon route in Brooklyn. I've been trying to record this video for like an hour. There's been a lot of noise. I give up. You're gonna hear some noise. I'm sorry. Upstairs neighbor is home. You may hear some pedestrians walking down the street outside, and you may or may not hear some helicopters circling overhead. If you hear them, don't worry. It's not the cops coming to get me. It's just some news footage guys. Everybody's showing their mugs lately, so here's my favorite. Pumpkin spice tea. Drew from Trader Joe's. You should try it. You would love it. Caffeinated. Decaf. Gift from my bestie. So, okay. October. I hope you guys had a great October. I hope you got a lot done. I hope you had a happy Halloween. If you celebrate or observe. We did not observe. We were just too tired, guys. We have been both working crazy long hours, but on opposite schedules. Dylan has been working overnight shoots and I have been working day shoots and starting early in the morning. So a lot of nights he gets home 2 or 3 hours before I need to get out of bed for work, which is pretty crummy. So we've been two very groggy ships passing each other in the night. So on Halloween weekend, we bailed on all our friends. We didn't dress up. We ordered takeout and we sat on the couch and fell asleep in front of Hocus Pocus. Like halfway through the movie, which I know is a crime in most states. Guilty as charged. I will repent for it and I will do better next year. But yeah, things have been busy. They will continue to be busy until right before Thanksgiving, and then my mom is coming to visit for Thanksgiving. We haven't seen her in over a year, so that's very exciting. The reason we haven't seen her in over a year is because we haven't been able to travel to Canada, because I have been going through the green card process. After we got married, we decided to apply for my residency, and this past week, we finally got my card. We got approved. The card came in the mail earlier this week. It is, in fact, green. Which was, I don't know why that was a surprise to me. It's called a green card, but it is actually green. So that's really exciting. Because when you're going through the process, you're not supposed to leave the country because there's no guarantee you'll get back in. So we haven't gone home. New York is home, but we haven't gone to Canada to visit my parents in over a year, so I am very excited about going there this Christmas. So there's that. Other life stuff. Speaking sort of Halloween, I'm sure you guys heard on the news that here in New York we had an attack on Halloween Day in the afternoon. All my friends and family and colleagues are fine. I don't personally know anyone who was a victim directly or indirectly excuse me, of the attack. It was still a very upsetting and sobering experience. It's a strange feeling having to call all your friends and family to make sure they're fine. Especially, you know, we have friends who live around that area, and most of our friends are freelancers like us, so they could be anywhere at any point. So there was kind of like a frantic couple hours of everybody being very worried about everybody else. But everyone's okay. I mean, I don't know anybody who was, as I said, a victim, either directly or indirectly. But it was still scary and upsetting having to make those calls and then having to check in with our out-of-town friends and family who, of course, saw it on the news and then were worried and upset and concerned and reached out to us. So it's a weird and sobering experience, and I hope you guys never have to experience anything like that ever. I think that's all I'm going to say about that. Because we're here to talk about stitching, and speaking of stitching, I have a rental car for work right now, and so I took advantage of it, and I went to Needleworkers Delight a couple weekends ago, and I met Margo in real life, which was so cool. I was super nervous, but we hit it off. She's great. We had so much fun. We did a sit and stitch with a bunch of other ladies. And I know a lot of people have been saying it lately, especially with all the talks about all the retreats going on and stuff like that. But guys, if you get a chance to stitch with people, with other stitchers, do it. If there's anywhere in your area that has a meetup, just go. It doesn't matter if you don't know anybody there. Because, so I've been to a few fiber arts groups and organizations, like fiber arts meetups at the library and stuff like that. But I've always been the only cross stitcher, and you know, everyone else was there knitting and crocheting, which is fine, but it's nothing like being with other stitchers. I mean, I got to Needleworkers Delight, I sat down, and there was a woman there who had, she had a like really large Ziploc bag full of brown silk floss. And we were like, oh wow, what's that? And she was like, oh, this is my brown silk stash. And we were like, wow, that's a lot. That's so cool. And she was like, oh, this is nothing. You should see my green silk stash. And I was like, yes, these are my people. This is my tribe. As Michelle says, this is awesome. And it was a great 6 hours, just hanging out, talking, sitting, stitching. Did a little shopping, which I'll get to later. It was a lot of fun. And Margo, guys, she made me a project bag. Look at this. It's movie themed because I work in the movies. I love it. Nobody's ever made me a project bag before. So this was such a surprise, and the nicest gift. I mean, homemade gifts. What is it Mary Rose says? Like, only stitchers know, right? So this was great. I love it. She also put inside all the floss for Cross Stitch Nation, which we're going to stitch together. I guess in 2018 or sometime this year. We haven't figured it out yet, but if you want to stitch it with us, you should. Candy, stitches. I know you just got it. So, yeah. Speaking of meeting other stitchers, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Cross Stitch Retreat, New Jersey. I'm going. I've been giddy since I signed up about it. I've been giddy since I signed up last week or the week before or whenever it was. I don't know. I'm like in a whirlwind of excitement. I don't think I can wait 6 months. So thank you, Arlene, for setting that up. I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to meet everyone in person. And yeah. It's gonna be such a blast, guys. If you can make it, please come. If you're going, write a comment below and let me know you're going, so we can start following each other on Instagram and start being online friends, and then we'll meet in real life, and it will be great. I've had a lot of caffeine today, if you can't tell, but I'm also just really excited. So, okay, 9 minutes in, and we haven't really talked about stitching. So I have a finish. Got one finish in October. This is it. I think it's a pretty good finish. Prairie Schooler, Where There Are Bees. Done. I think the last time you saw this, I was like halfway done with it. Maybe a little less than halfway. there is a mistake in it. Did some fudging. If you can see it, keep it to yourself. Gwen, maybe you can see it because you're working on it right now, but there is a mistake that I fudged. But I don't care. I love it. I'm really, really, really happy with how it turns out. I stitched this as charted on the called for fabric, which was 32 count white Joblin, using the called for DMC. Started that in July, I'm pretty sure. And I finished it yesterday, November 4th. And then I only stitched on a couple other projects this month because I was really focused on the bees. So I've been working a lot on this Dungeons and Dragons wedding gift for our friends who got married in October. So it's an overdue gift. I'm trying to get it done by Christmas. I don't have a picture of what it's going to look like because I'm making it up as I go along. But that's what I have. I think the last time you saw it, I just had a few stitches in this dragon here, and now this dragon's done, and this one's almost done, and then I started the die in the middle. I will link below the charts I've been using. They're digital charts from Etsy. They're only a couple dollars each. The charts I've been basing this on. The one chart, the only thing I'm using for it is the outline of this die here. I'm not using anything else from it, so I'm not sure how much help that will be to you. The other chart is basically this dragon here with some words, and so I made some modifications to this guy, and then I just mirrored the whole pattern in a PDF program on my computer, whatever free one comes on Max Preview or whatever. I just mirrored the whole image to get him on the other side so that they would make a heart. This is done 2/2 on 32 count Legacy from Picture This Plus. It's Lugana. It's quickly, I really like this fabric color. The more I stitch on it, the more I'm like, it's like a neutral. Should get more of this. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Neighbor just came down the stairs. So the next thing I worked on was my Heaven and Earth design. This is a black and white design, artwork by Stephen Paul Carlson. That's what it's going to look like finished. I'm stitching it 1/1 on 28 count Lugana in Whisper, I believe. I'll insert a picture of where you saw it last. And this is it now. Put this down. So basically I've added a bazillion parked threads, and actually I think I've done a lot since you saw it last. I did a whole column here, and then I worked down his nose. It's only like 30 more stitches in this column here, and then that column's done. This is a nostril here starting to appear, so that must mean that this is his cheek. But I'm super happy with the progress I've made on it. I've been trying to do 300 stitches every weekend, which, because next year in ANP's Full Coverage Fanatics group, there's a challenge to do 1,200 stitches every month. So I figured if I can do 300 stitches every weekend, usually 4 weekends in a month, I'll be able to keep up that way. And it seems to be working pretty well. It kind of allows me, weekends are really the only time I can work on it where I have enough time, you know, because it takes a minute to like pull it out, get it on my rods, get it set up, you know, all of that jazz. So, yeah, I think it's working. I don't feel burnt out on it. I kind of look forward to it on Saturday mornings, on pulling it out and working on it for a couple hours. So hopefully, I'm hoping in 2018 to get 5 pages done, because that will be all the way across the design. Because there's this page, 2 more full coverage pages, and then 1 partial page that's basically like 2 columns. So if I can get all the way across the design in 2018, I think that'd be great. That's my goal anyway. Probably pretty lofty, but gonna try. And then the last thing I worked on kind of here and there, if I was ever feeling tired of the bees, was my parlor treats. Oops, this one. This is the one I've been working on. I'm gonna do the other one eventually. Still on the Q-snap. So I think the last time you saw it, there's just a few stitches here. Now I have about half the glass, right? So it's coming along well. This is stitch 2/2 on 32 count Belfast by Zweigart. I think it's called Petit Point Blue. Enjoying it. Yeah, I'm annoyed because all along here, there's about 8 quarter stitches I missed because since it's a pattern in a magazine, I made a working copy. I mean, I make working copies anyway, but I guess my photocopier didn't do a good job of this working copy because there's a cat walking by. Because I couldn't tell on the photocopied pattern that there were any quarter stitches. And then when I looked later at the color pattern in the magazine, they're very clearly there. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back and try and fill. They're really spread out, so it'll be super annoying. It'll be like 1 quarter stitch here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, like. Or maybe I might just backstitch and see how bad it looks without them. I mean, it's only going on my wall, so, you know, if I can live with it, it's fine, right? So we'll see. That is it for whips. That's all I worked on. Like I said, I really, really focused on the bees. I tried to start something new last night, but I just didn't like any of the fabric options I had. I tried it on like 2 or 3 different fabrics, and you know, one was too close to a thread collar, one I didn't really like the weave of the fabric. I don't know. So I think I have to revisit that start another time. Just a bummer because I was really, really itching for one. So all that's left is haul. There's a day at work where we were shooting close to a needlepoint store that's in Midtown. I decided to drop in and see if they had anything cross-stitch related. They had a little bit of Aida, and I did pick up some DMC that I needed, and I picked up some. Get down. Big cat up here. You coming to say hello? Yeah. There we go. Take your time, buddy. We're not doing. Can you get down, please? Get down. So I stopped into the store to see if they had anything cross-stitch related. I grabbed a little bit of DMC and some Threadworks floss. And then I felt, I don't know, I was looking around at the needlepoint stuff, and I'm not sure why I bought this. I think I just felt kind of like pressured to purchase something other than 2 skeins of floss, because the people were being so nice and helpful, which is a bad reason to buy something, I realized, but I felt obliged. So I bought this needlepoint kit. It's like a little mesh bag. There's the flosses for it is inside, and then you do a basket weave stitch. You know, you fill in it's like a coin purse. I don't know, I thought it might make a good stocking stuffer for like my mom or for my mother-in-law, or I don't know. I don't really know what I was thinking. Might make a good travel project. I don't know. So I guess I'm going to try needlepoint now, which I've kind of wanted to try anyway. So I guess this is an inexpensive way of giving it a shot. So I got that. I did a little eBaying, and I got another Mill Hill kit because since I haven't started the other 5 Mill Hill kits I own, I had to get another one. But it was $1.75. So, okay. I also got the Moira Blackburn sample, 3 things. This has been, I think this was like, oh, it says chart only. It's just the chart. I don't know if it was sold as a kit at one point. This has been on my wish list for a while. It's like, it's really big. It's a traditional style sampler. And it says, 3 things there are that will never come back. The arrow shot forth on its destined track, the appointed hour that could not wait, and the helpful word that was spoken too late. I think it's not a reproduction, but it's meant to look like a reproduction sampler or look like a traditional sampler. So I don't know if I'll start that this year, but it's been on my wish list for a while, and I got it basically half price. So the regular chart's like $19. I got it for like $9 or something. You know, when a deal's that good, it would be a crime not to get it, right? I also, same thing, I got this for less than half of what it costs on 123 Stitch, and this has been on my wish list for a while. It's Kathy Barrick's Cat and Mouse. You know me, cat things. Gotta stitch all the cat things. This is charted in MPI silks, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, more than 10, and I'm not a millionaire, so I think I'll be doing it in DMC unless I win the lottery sometime soon. Yeah, so that's a maybe start this year. Then I also I don't know, like had a bad day at work or something and decided to treat myself. I mean, it wasn't or something. It was a pretty bad day at work. So I decided to treat myself guilt-free to this chart, which I've wanted for a while. I thought I had bought it off eBay in September, but I had bought Froth and Bubble 2 by accident. So I sold that again on eBay for about what I paid, so it's fine. And then I just got this from 123 Stitch. So I know most of you guys have seen it, but I'll read it in case you haven't. It says, life is mostly froth and bubble. 2 things stand like stone. Kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. So, and I like the colors. This is another huge one. Not huge, 150 by 318. That's pretty big, right? I mean, that's a project. So I'm excited about that one. When I was at Needleworkers Delight, I did a little shopping. I got some Dinky Dyes thread for, I bought this is called Cat's Cat. It's like a variegated brown. I bought this for a PDF chart that I do not have a picture of and cannot show you, so I will just link it below, called the Stitching Tree, which, sitting on my stuff, say hi, called the Stitching Tree, which Ingeborg, Stitch Too Far, showed in one of her recent videos, and she showed it, and I paused the video and went and bought the PDF immediately. I'll link it below for where you can buy it. It's like the tree is cross-stitched, the trunk is cross-stitched, and then all the branches are specialty stitches. So like different types of specialty stitches. So I bought that Dinky Dyes with the trunk of the tree in mind. But now that I'm looking at it, it might be a little too light. I don't know. We'll give it a try, right? Yeah. But while I was there at Needleworkers Delight, I also bought some fabric, which I don't have yet because it was a dye to order situation. So if you go there, they have a big wall, and on that wall are round discs with fabric samples of different silk weaver colors that they dye, because Needleworkers Delight think I've said this before, is the home of Silk Weaver Fabrics. So you can, they have this wall with all these discs. I should have taken a picture of it to show you guys. So, because probably I'm not making any sense, but with basically with fabric samples on, and then you like show you show Kevin what color fabric you want, and then you tell him what count and what size, and they'll dye it, you know, whether you want linen or Lugana or whatever, and they'll dye it for you. So I picked a color for my maple sugar project. Margo helped me pick it out, and had them dye a piece of fabric for me. And when I get the email that that's ready, I'm gonna go pick that up right away because I'm super excited. And then I also got, it's hard to do with the cat on your lap. I also got my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month and Thread of the Month. So here's the Thread of the Month. It's about to get interesting with this cat. So we have, I know other people have shown them, but I'm going to show them anyway. Salvia, Hearth, Golden Mum, Tart Apple, and Fig. No, thank you. Fig. Yeah, they're really pretty, right? Very like spring, very spring colors. I think, personally. And then I got my Fabric of the Month, which is 28 count. Hi, bud. 28 count Lugana in Holiday Mint. I'll show that to you. This is, yeah, it looks, this is a pretty good representation of it. It's a very, it's like the color of like gum, right? Like mint gum. It's a bright minty green. What do you think, Elliot? Yeah. Not my favorite color I've gotten from her, but it's pretty. I feel like this would be good with, I wonder, does Brooks Books have a Tinkerbell, you know, of the princess dresses? Because if they do, I feel like that would be great with that. I'll have to look that up. Although I don't know if I would stitch something like that, but I'm sure something will come up. This is going to be like the fabric that picks the pattern, not the other way around, you know? Like Letitia was saying with her spicy carrot, I feel like this Holiday Mint is going to, there's a pattern that's going to come along that it's like, oh, that's for that fabric. I can't just put any pattern on it. You get what I'm saying. Okay, well, I think that's it. This is going to be a short video. I did a lot of stitching, but it was so focused on 4 projects that I guess I don't have a lot to show. I'm trying, I was trying to do a no spend November because I'm so in the hole for in Stitch from Stash, but last night there was an eBay incident. So, but when that order comes in and I show it to you guys, you're going to understand and you're going to be like, oh, well, obviously it would have been a crime not to order that pack of charts at that price. I got like, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I won a lot of like 11 out of print Prairie Schoolers, and I think I'm very comfortable with the price I paid for them. But other than that, I'm gonna try not to spend anything else this month, because I have a lot of nice things, and I think I want to start a lot of things this month and a lot of things in December so that I can have a lot of things going for the Year of Whips, because I have a lot of patterns I've purchased that I can't wait to get up on my wall. but I haven't started them because I've been feeling guilty about having whips, and I kind of decided I'm not going to feel guilty anymore. I'm not going to worry about the number of whips I have. I'm not going to worry about how many patterns are in my stash. I'm going to start what I want to start and stitch what I want to stitch when I stitch what I want to stitch when I want to stitch it. And I gave up my rotation. I'm not doing it anymore. I think it worked better when I think I got more progress done when I focused on what I wanted to stitch on, because all month, the only thing I wanted to stitch on was where there are bees, and I finished it. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to do what I want. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to clean up this mess and do some things around the house. And, oh, now I have a cat asleep in my lap, so I guess I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit here for the next couple hours snuggling him. So I hope you all have a happy November. If you're in the UK, I hope you enjoy your holiday today. If you are in the US, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your friends and family. If you're elsewhere, I hope you have a great November as well with whatever you're celebrating this month. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. Bye.